been on so many missions with Haiti ambulance. Every day working with them could be a story, could be something memorable. But whenever I'm asked this question, there's always one case that we have transported that comes in my head. I remember it was an afternoon, pretty normal afternoon, and then we receive a call from a place called Bed Orange. For those of you who don't know Bed Orange is in the southeast of the country, is located 6,000 feet above the sea. To go there, it might take you days. And for us to even reach there, we have to fly the aircraft 8,000 feet. And sometimes because of cloud, we cannot see, we can't get really there. So when we receive the call, usually we know that it's critical, and we didn't, it was a very bad one this time. It was a twin pregnancy. One baby already died. So they called us and they wanted us to do the transport so rapidly. We take all the medications, all the things that we think might be needed to do the delivery. So we went there. When we arrived there, it's where we landed. It's a field, filled with dust, pretty much. So the lady was laying pretty much on the ground, and then with a crowd around her, and she was in real pain, real distress. And imagine that a few minutes ago she just lost her baby. So when we get there, we ease her pain, we find the words to encourage her to push and help her deliver the other baby that was still alive. After the delivery, that wasn't the end of the fight, because the baby's cries was weak and the baby appeared weak. So the baby needed more care. So after taking care of the mother, make sure that she was stable, we loaded her and the baby to the nearest hospital, which was at 45 minutes flight. You cannot...
45-minute flight.
Yeah, flight, yeah. So you cannot imagine, like, every minute for us who were in the aircraft felt like hours. And because most of the time I am at the head of the patient, so she was holding my hand the whole time.
thank you for that story, and I'm very disappointed that I have to follow that story with my comments. But no, I think one of the things that Haiti Air Ambulance does, and that's less emotion grabbing. Transporting an individual patient, from a public health, I have an MPH and an MD, right? And from a public health perspective, when you help one patient, it doesn't move the needle on population health, right? So the MPH part of my brain is like, well, you helped one patient, but the MD part of my brain understands how powerful that is and how powerful stories are and how powerful it is to help one life. But one of the other things that I think Haiti Air Ambulance does that's so important is right now in Haiti, as Dr. Jacqueline and Mitch have both said, the infrastructure is completely disrupted. Supplying clinics that are providing daily life-saving care, keeping blood pressure medications stocked in clinics is vitally important, and it affects thousands of lives a day. And the ability to get not only patients out when they need help, but getting supplies into clinics when roads are not passable is vitally important. And so from a public health perspective, I get really excited when I see models like Haiti Air Ambulance, because they're thinking about things. The individual patient's important, and that's absolutely true. But on the way in, bringing supplies in, transporting doctors into the clinics, getting people out, it's all vitally important when you have a country that's really got ground transportation that's been totally disrupted. And so for me, I'm constantly thinking about what can we do better? What can we do in a technologically innovative way? Whether it's in Ukraine, where we're doing telemedicine services for doctors that are exhausted and trying to operate on their 90th patient of the shift, or it's delivering life-saving medications in a clinic that you couldn't get to it would take days to get to in some of the rural parts of Haiti. These are innovations that are changing healthcare and changing the way we think about healthcare delivery, even in the poorest countries. And that's important because I really do believe that in the next 10 years, with the technological advances that we're making, we're actually going to be able to close some of the health equity gaps that we've admired for the last 50 years. And that's an important statement. It's not just words. Being able to fix problems that we've been technologically unable to fix for the last 50 years is in our grasp. We just have to decide to do it.